Hi everybody, my name is Rich Roberge. I was born in New York and I live in Puerto Rico. I'm a guitar player and multi-instrumentalist. I began composing a few years ago and I'm new to home recording studios. For this week's lesson, I'm going to be covering project preparation. Our project preparation pre-production checklist includes giving the project a proper name and establishing a location for the files. We're going to be defining our recording file type and setting the digital audio preferences for the sample rate and the word length, also known as bit depth. We're going to be configuring the hardware settings so that my DAW recognizes my USB interface, and we're going to be setting a buffer size for latency. My DAW is Reaper from Cockles. Let's begin by going into Reaper. This is Reaper. Let's go first to our File menu here, and I'm going to select New Project. It's going to ask me if I want to save the current project. I don't have a project, but just so I start fresh, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to give the project a name. So, Save Project. For this project, I'm going to select Assignment 2. When I select a project name, let me show you what happens. It creates the project name, and it creates a folder for the project with the same name. The default file folder for that is Reaper Media under My Documents. So the next thing we're going to do is under the project settings, that's under File, Project Settings. We could also use Alt-Enter, and we're going to go to the Media tab. This is something I like to do because of the way Reaper stores media files in the parent directory, and I prefer to have it in the project directory. So I'm going to hit Browse here and go over to that same directory. And now we have that set as the default directory for my media files. Since we're here already in Project Settings, let's go now to the Project Settings tab, and we're going to select our project sample rate at 48,000. Next, let's go back to the Media tab, and we're going to make sure the audio format for the new recording is in WAV, and the bit depth is set at 24 bits, which it is. So that takes care of the first few steps in our project preparation. For our next steps, we're going to go over to the Options menu and select Preferences, which is the last. We could also use Control P. Under Preferences, we're going to go over to Device, and we're going to choose my USB generic driver. We're going to choose 24 bits here, and we're going to set here also the sample rate at 48,000. The last step is setting our buffer size, and there's two parameters in Reaper. The first is how many buffers, and the second is the one that we're interested, which is how many samples. We're going to set this one at 128. And just so you get an idea what the other one is, this one is set automatically by Reaper, depending on the amount of plugins and other configurations you have. So I don't like to touch that. So that completes all of the steps necessary for our project production. Let's go over to the checklist for a minute to make sure that we took care of everything. Go in quickly over it. We already set the name and file location, the recording file type, our digital audio preferences. We configured our hardware, and our buffer is set. So I want to thank you for watching this short presentation and let you know that constructive criticism, feedback, suggestions, and comments are most welcome. I'd like to really hear what you think about this presentation. I know there are other ways of doing it. With the available equipment that I had and resources, this was what I came up with. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.